Typhoon Halong has left 2 people dead and over 80 injured across western Japan after the storm tore through the country on Sunday, August the 10th, 2014. Hi everyone, meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you today. We are continuing to track this storm system. Good news, it is back out over water, but unfortunately it did leave all this damage in its wake. This video actually from videographer James Reynolds, who was documenting this storm as it came ashore during the early morning hours, making landfall right around 6 a.m. Japan Standard Time. After that, it pulled off here towards the northeast and roared across much of Shikoku, dropping over 1,000 millimeters of rainfall. This is actually the latest reports from JMA as of 8 p.m. on Sunday, where in one location in Kochi Prefecture, that's there into eastern portions of Shikoku, 1,073 millimeters of rainfall came down out here. In the past 24 hours alone, upwards of 862 millimeters of rainfall was reported. That definitely is enough to cause flooding, and that's exactly what we've seen out here. The 2 deaths that were reported due to the storm system, due to the flooding and rising river levels out here across central and western portions of Japan, specifically in Iwate and Wakayama Prefecture. So now we are seeing this storm system pull away. Is the rain still going to be in place? Actually, yes, we are still expecting this widespread precipitation to continue to linger really into central portions of Japan and off there towards the north. You can see the latest track here. Our storm system is going to move across the Sea of Japan, and it's expected to weaken out and become extratropical, though, as we go through the next 24 hours. Already, the Joint Typhoon Warning Center out their final warning on this storm system, saying that it is already going extratropical as it moves out over. And also here on Sunday evening, really the storm system on radar is, well, not very pretty at all. And actually, that center of circulation we've seen in the morning hours, it's still there. It's off here towards the north, just off the Hokuriku region. But really, the bulk of the precipitation has been displaced off here towards the east. Dry air wrapped around the western periphery of the storm. It also just got torn apart over the mountains of Japan. That is typically what we've seen. I know the ECMWF model has been very aggressive on keeping the storm system off there towards the north and possibly impacting Far East Russia. At this time, I don't think that's really going to be happening. The biggest problem coming out of this is going to be that extension of the rainfall extending across northern portions of Honshu and Hokkaido, where we do see that flood threat still lingering out here as this storm does continue to track off there towards the north. Now, as I mentioned, it is losing a lot of its tropical characteristics, but it is still going to be bringing these gale force winds across much of the Sea of Japan, and then even extending out there towards, well, far eastern Russia, northern portions of Honshu, and then into Hokkaido as that storm system continues to track off there. But as you can see here, we still have that moisture inflow wrapping around the east, so much of Hokkaido, 100 to 200 millimeters very well could be seen. And even as we look still through Monday morning into Monday afternoon here, we continue to see that moisture inflow wrapping around the southern periphery of the storm. That's still going to make things unstable across Tokyo. So don't be surprised even on Monday here if we do see a few storms fire up. But the biggest problem coming out of this still is going to be farther here towards the north into Hokkaido. And as I mentioned before, far eastern Russia, I don't really see it, but this model has been very aggressive, and I think some very rural areas out here could still see some gusty winds. The good news, it is very rural. Vladivostok, the largest city over here, but as far eastern Russia is concerned, not a lot of towns up and down the coastline. So as always, though, we are definitely going to continue to keep you posted on this storm system and everything else going on across the western Pacific today. There is still the monsoonal rains into the Indochina Peninsula. We also do have a very weak tropical wave out there, but that definitely is not causing any harm. And also, lastly, I do want to mention we still have Typhoon Genevieve. It's off the screen here towards the right. This might put it in perspective. Here's your storm system. This is Halong. Genevieve way out here in the open ocean, and it's expected to get wrapped up with an upper level jet just passing by. It's the trough, and actually I can show you here on our upper level winds just this trough that is really going to start dipping down over Genevieve, and that's going to pick our storm system off and pull it off there towards the northeast. So for those of you that have been tracking that storm, it's been a very interesting one. It was once a hurricane, and then it became a typhoon. If you're worried about it impacting any land areas, unless you're in Alaska and you're going to watch for that extratropical transition, this one's not going to be any sort of threat. For those of you who have been watching the tropics, as far as any long-range forecast is concerned, GFS model and the NavGem both keeping things pretty clean over the course of the next several weeks. So it does look like July we had a very, very active tropical pattern out here. That's going to finally start to ease up. But once again, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can always post them down there in the comment box below. As always, thanks for watching, and also thank you for everybody that shared reports with us during this continued coverage all weekend out here on this, well, still very dangerous storm system. And definitely our hopes are with everybody that was affected by it. I know millions of people over 1 million people have been evacuated, not just the 2 deaths, but the injuries, but lots of people have seen damage to their homes and their business and their livelihoods out here across Western Japan. Stay safe out there, everybody, and thanks for watching. Bye.